Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvajayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Jai Janendra sabhi ko. So today, since we are finished with Chedhala, we will just do the summaries and whatever details, descriptions we can do. And then if there is time remaining, we might start with Dravya Sangra, but primarily right now, just let's do the summaries. So whose turn is it today? Let's see. Did Amit present last time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Arunji, Nidhi, and who
And
else?
me.
And
Me.
you have also not presented. Okay, good. So three of you, yeah, that'll take up.
Prabhaji, my apologies. I was traveling, so I'm not ready. So,
Okay. Let's see. What was your topic?
Anyatva and Suchi.
Okay. When do you think you will be able to do
Prabhaji, I can do it next week, but there's also another travel lurking maybe to India next week. So if I don't travel, then I will be ready.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, in spite of travel, these only should take a couple of hours to prepare. So like keep it ready whenever you get time.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll prepare it and post it, and then
Yeah,
whenever I'm in the class, I'll present it as well.
right. Okay, so well, that's okay. Let's do what we can. So then who is next? How about
Me. I
yeah,
can do Ashrav and Sambar.
Ashram and Samvar. Okay, fine.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. Try to go in whatever as much detail as you can,
Yeah.
because the rest of them have not quite read it yet. So it's better to give a pretty good synopsis. And there
Right.
is quite a few pages, so cover as much as you can. Even
Okay.
if you have to read some of it from the book, that's okay.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, so in Jainism, ashram and samvar are deeply interconnected concepts that explains how a soul becomes trapped in the cycle of existence and how it can break free. They represent a sequential cause and effect relationship
Mhm.
regarding
Are
the
you guys
soul's.
getting any disturbance? Can you
Uh,
get background noise from my place?
no,
No? Okay, then yeah, that's fine. Continue.
yeah, it's so they represent a sequential cause and effect relationship regarding the soul's interaction with karma. Uh,
Mhm.
Ashrav is a process of karma flowing, and bandh is a result of karma sticking to the soul, and samvar is a cure to stop the entire cycle. Ashrav and bandh are consecutive, closely linked phenomena. Ashrav is a continuous influx or attraction of microscopic karmic particles towards the soul caused by person's physical, vocal, and mental activities. So this would be any activities that we do all through the day, and we would be getting an influx of karmic particles through all our actions. Bandh is the actual bondage or fusing of this incoming karmic particles with the soul. Uh, the classic example in Jainism is the analogy of a boat with a hole in it. The water is rushing into the boat through the hole, represents the ashram. Once the water enters and the pools inside the boat, weighing it down, it cannot easily be removed. The accumulation represents bandh. Crucially, not ashrav, no. And sambar would represent taking the water out of the boat. Not all ashram lead to long-lasting bandh. For bandh to occur, the soul must react to worldly situation with kashai, passions like anger, pride, deceit, and greed. If particle flows in, but the soul remains entirely detached and free of passion, the particles will fall away without binding tightly. Therefore, ashra provides the raw material, the karmic matter, but the soul's own passion dictate the duration and intensity of the resulting bandh. See, all through our lectures, we've heard that it's the passion that creates that builds the karmas. It's not just the influx of the particles coming in, because both ashram and birth perpetuate world suffering. Sansar Jainism characterizes both as heya, truths that are detrimental and must be avoided or abandoned. Uh, if bandit relationship in sambar and bandh. If bandh is the disease, sambar is the preventative medicine. Sambar is a deliberate blockage or stoppage of ashraf. Going back to the boat analogy, sambar is the act of a boatman realizing the danger and plugging the hole to stop the water from rushing in. By stopping the inflow, sambar directly prevents any new bondage from occurring what, while the worldly soul is conditioned to react to life with attachment or aversion, thus causing ashram and bandh. A practitioner applies sambar through spiritual discipline by practicing internal restraint, guptis, carefulness, samitis, and deep spiritual contemplation such as ashra bhavna, which reflects on the impure nature of karmic influx. The practitioner must maintain equanimity. The state of equanimity blocks new particles from entering, ensuring no new bandh takes place. When someone successfully halts new bandh, soul can focus entirely on nijra, the eradication of previously bonded karmas, ultimately leading to liberation. So this is basically how ashra and sambra would work.
Raji, you're muted.
So did you write this, Viraj, or you got it from AI or what?
Yeah, just a summary. Just wrote the summary on this. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Uh, since uh, since everybody has not read these chapters, and there is quite a number of pages, but each chapter is what, about 10 pages?
Yeah, this one was small, I think.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we actually contemplating when we say Ashrav and Samvar Bhavana?
So what we're contemplating is basically ashrav is basically the influx. So one is you don't want the bandh. You want to have equanimity and not no attachment to any of the or averseness to any of the situations that you're in, so that the karmic material doesn't get attached to your soul. So that's one of the biggest things. And somewhere is basically trying to remove the water from the boat, or basically trying to get rid of any karmas that you have. And this can be achieved through the practice of cultivate samatva, right faith, carefulness, guptis, observe the vows, endure hardships. There are various ways where you can achieve this. And once you don't have the influx and your body and your boat is empty of all the water, then maybe you can get to the next stage of nidra.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's another very interesting example. The boat one is, of course, from the Shastras, and it's getting pretty old. You could even take like a store. Uh,
Mhm.
say you want to close a store, right? So what
Mhm.
do? You stop buying new products,
Right.
and whatever is in the store, what do? You put it on sale or clearance, and you kind of keep getting rid of the
Mm-hmm.
old stuff and don't get any new stuff. So you've kind of basically emptied out all your karmic matter, like nirjara.
Mm-hmm.
And not ordering is the samvar. Nothing new is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, so coming in terms of ashrav is going to be very difficult to stop. Every action, like whether it is man, vachan, or kaya, any, they call it spandan, like vibration,
Mm-hmm.
attracts karmas, right? So they're definitely coming in, coming towards you. But the bondage does not happen unless you take ownership of it, you have attachment towards it, and you make it your own. Until that, nothing can bother you. Unfortunately, because our association is not with the soul, it is with the body, everything that we is ashrav gets band,
Yeah.
gets we get tied into it. So, but yet, the less the attachment, the less the intensity of the band.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely whatever little progress you make is worth it
Mm-hmm.
because the previous karmas intensities are lowering, and the new ones that you get, they also come with lower intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so that is ashrav and bandha bhavna. Now, when you say to contemplation, what is your constant contemplation?
Right faith, Barah bhavna, any of the religious
Right.
stuff.
For
Yeah.
ashrav and samvar contemplation, whenever your days going by and being aware that anything I do, so basically as if you're sitting in this storm of dust, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys are familiar in Rajasthan, there is dust storms in
Mm.
certain months of the year, right? So people keep all their windows very, very shut, and you open even the little bit creak of a window, and the dust gushes in. So that is what you should sort of think that, oh, I'm sitting in this storm of karmic dust. And the moment I allow even the little bit of rag and dvesh or attachment, that there we go, I'm inviting all this dust inside.
Mm-hmm.
So then that is where it stops you. So, in your day-to-day living, it can help those kind of contemplations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good.
Mm-hmm.
So Nidhi was yours the next topic?
I have the Bodhi Durla Bhavna and Dharma Bhavna.
Yours was the last two. So uh, uh, did we assign the in between? Was that to um,
I just saw, I think I have Nirjara.
oh, yours was Nirjara?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you have not prepared anything and you want to just speak something about it, that's fine.
No, oh, is Nidhi going first or?
No, you should then. Nirjara, and that is before Bodhi Durlabha Dharma.
Okay. Uh, in shared, I mean, I'll just brief this one.
Okay.
Um,
You can keep your video on, that would help.
oh, is it not on?
No,
Sorry.
it's
It is
not
on my side.
Yeah, now it was your younger self before. It was your very young Dinesh Burad was there.
Okay, so the issue here is I have to read from the same screen. Like when I move this, then maybe my video goes
Oh,
because it's the same phone to read what I'm going to read.
okay.
I don't know if you can still see me, but
Oh, we can see you.
okay. So the word
But
nirjara.
now your face is still, so not sure.
Okay. Uh, yeah, because I'm using the same screen. Uh, I don't know. Can you give me 5 minutes? Like can somebody else take over and then I'll
No problem. No problem.
give me 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. So, Nidhi ji, have you by any chance read Arunji's topics? Has anybody read pretty much the whole book?
Read my part in detail
Okay.
because I had to prepare the notes, but I will be reading
Okay, sure, no problem.
later on.
Okay, so while he's taking those couple of minutes to be ready, I'm going to talk about Ekatva Bhavna and Anyatva Bhavna. So, what Ekatva Bhavna tells you is that you alone are your refuge. You have to find peace, oneness in only you, the soul. Everything else is par. So, do your ownership, do your minus, everything with the soul, with you, the soul, and body is also other. So, you don't want to associate with the body. And ekatva is what is going to give you the pure happiness. Let us know when you're ready, Dinesh ji, okay? All right. Now, anyatva, on the other hand, actually, I'll post in the morning class, somebody did anyatva in very much detail. Like he took 40 minutes to do it. So it might be worth listening. So anyatva talks about everything other than you, right? So what is that? If the body is not me, the circumstances is not me, and we are constantly busy thinking about the circumstances that we get. We find peace in it, or we find happiness, or we do likes and dislikes with that. So that is the anyatva bhavna. Anyatva bhavna is a very interesting one to contemplate on day to day, because whenever, even when you wake up, first thing in the morning, what do you see?
The body.
Do you feel that is not you? Do you get a feeling that this is anyatva, somebody else? That's not me? We don't.
We know.
Because we have from anadi this association with the body, right? So you start right there that no, this is not me. This is my neighbor. And you start that contemplation that, okay, if this was me, what about all the previous births? What about all the bodies that I've taken from time immemorial, and the bodies I will be taking after I die in this life? So if this body is me, then obviously all the other ones would have to be me. So you sort of contemplate that way, that you don't, associate with the body. And now, then again, it takes back to, okay, then what do I associate with? And actually, Anyatva Bhavna has some very good statements. And some places it also said that Anyatva Bhavna comprises all the other bhavnas in it, which actually they all are interconnected. Now, who will tell me, in the beginning, we read the first 6 bhavnas does something and the last 6 bhavnas does something. What was that?
The first 6 bhavnas basically inculcate a vairagya,
Mm-hmm.
and the later bhavnas guide us to how to realize our own self, or
Right.
basically guide us to our own self.
And okay, what exactly is Vairagya?
Vairagya is basically understanding or realizing and acknowledging that the impermanence and transitory nature of the sansar and
This
the permanent nature of myself.
Vairagya is this, see the things as they are.
Mhm.
Okay, Vairagya is basically indifferentness to the worldly things. Like they don't matter to me. See, when anything is low priority, how much importance do you give to it? Not much. So, Vairagya is basically understanding that these worldly things don't matter to me. So, when people get the thought of Vairagya, that's when they're able to become sadhu. They give up the worldly things and are able to take diksha. And so, basically, in reference to mundane people, it's the lowering of the priority. Dineshi, you can unmute when you're ready.
Sure, thank you.
Okay.
I was doing a topic for Nirjara. In Chhadala, Nirjara means basically shedding off or removal of the karmas attached to the soul. Pandit Daular Ramji explains it in a very simple way. Like you can imagine our soul like a clean cloth, right? And then every time we do actions, whether the actions are with anger or with pride or with greed, it's like throwing dust and mud onto that clean cloth. And that dust is karma. And over many births, a lot of dust collects. So, what was explained earlier about somewhere was stopping the new dust from coming, but nirjara is cleaning of the old dust, which is already stuck onto our souls. So if a person kind of stays calm and if they forgive other people and they do tap, or they do meditation, uh, or they accept difficulties peacefully, which is a tough one to accept difficulties peacefully, then the old karma starts falling away. And this falling away of the old karma is then called nirjara, right? So one of the things is one of the things is you become angry, you shout back when someone insults you, right? Uh, but if you keep yourself calm during that time and you remain peaceful and you think, well, this is the result of my past karma, let me stay calm within, then the old karma gets exhausted and new karma is not created. That's the way I understand it. But
Right.
uh, in real life, it's a different thing. Even normal situations, we get angry, and we're collecting more and more and more karma every single day. So I guess that's that. One of the famous lines in Nirjara, written by the Ulit Ramji, is Tapakare Vishayani ko taje sahi parisha dhir karma nirjara tasu ki kahe jinendra veer. Meaning the brave soul, they practice tap and then leave worldly cravings and they patiently bear hardships. And
Mm-hmm.
after this karma starts shedding away, this shedding is called nirjara. There are two types of nirjara. Uh, and I mean, as tap increases, then the jo tap बढ़ता जाए त्यो karma jharant. Like as spiritual efforts and austerity increases, karma continues to fall away. And then the two types of nirjara are savipak nirjara, avipak nirjara. The savipak nirjara is karma finishes after giving its results naturally.
Okay.
Like someone suffers from illness or karma exhausts naturally. And then avipak nirjara is karma is destroyed through tapas and spiritual practices like deep meditation, fasting, forgiveness, renunciation, kind of thing. Yeah, so that's the essence of, I guess, nirjara. Uh, and in the essence of his teachings is that don't blame others for your sufferings, and if you bear difficulties with equanimity, your karmas fall away naturally and the soul becomes lighter and purer.
Mm-hmm.
State of purification is nirjara.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so one thing I think you kind of pointed to that Nirjara naturally happens, right? Every day, whatever, as the old karmas are coming to fruition, you're getting your circumstances and those karmas are out. The reason they're not called true nirjara is because it's like you you got rid of say one something and you got 10 more. So the net result is what? Positive. So because of that, it is not true nirjara. And to get to that net nirjara is what requires the meditation and all the other internal and external austerities. So, good. Anything else in the pages that was worth mentioning?
Uh, no, that's just my little synopsis with the help of.
All right. So nirjara, and what's the next one after that?
Loka bhavana.
Lok bhavna, I think, right? I don't know if he meant to write this folk or was this a typo.
That's how in English it is like that.
Is that lok is called folk?
Yes.
Oh, wow, interesting. I don't know if that's the accurate translation, though. Well, let's hear from Dinesh ji what it means.
For that log bhavna, sorry. I'm
Okay, you did not do lok bhavna. That's okay.
supposed to prepare for log bhavna as well. Okay. So that folk was for log bhavna. Okay.
Yes, that's what it was. Okay, so I think it's a little bit of a wrong translation. Yes, lok also means folk, but that is log, L-O-G. Okay, so like log from a particular state. That's like folk of that state, like that. But here, the loka bhavana means contemplating on the universe. What does the universe consist of?
Okay.
Matters, elements, 6 dravyas.
Yes. Dinesh, are you trying to say something?
Yeah, no, might as well. I'll just read the one thing that is related to the log bhavana in Shardala, which is अनादि काल इस लोक में जीव भ्रम्यो चहु और मोह बंध ते छूट कर निज घर करहूं ठोर.
Right.
The right one for.
Yes, that is the gist of it. Yes, that is the correct one.
Yeah, basically from beginninglessness time, the soul has wandered everywhere in this universe.
Right.
Sort of attachment and delusion, and now leave the religion and return to your true form, which is pure soul. That's the simple purpose.
So were you trying to do your summary from the Chedala book or the Bara Bhavna book?
This was from the Chedala.
This was, but what about Nirjara?
From Chedala as well.
Okay, that's why it was so short. No,
Oh.
you were supposed to read the Bara Bhavna book on those two topics.
Okay. No, I did it from Chedala. Sorry.
No problem. No
Okay.
problem. Do you have access to the Bara Bhavna PDF?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So whenever you get a chance, it's not that difficult of a read. So, like right now, when somebody else was driving and you were in the car, that would be a good time to read that. So no issues. At some point, you can do it. So anyway, so lok consists of Chai Dravya, Teen Lok. What are the three loks? Wait, let Dinesh.
Narik lok,
Yeah, 1 second. Can you take a guess, Dinesh?
The Adholok, Urdholok, and what is the third one? Manushalok or what?
Madhya Lok.
Madhyalok.
Urdhva, Madhya, and Adho. Okay. So Urdhva is Swarg. Madhya is the a lot of all the planets, the Earth, Vidya Kshetra, all the Kshetra, everything.
Oh.
And Narak. So those are the three loks. Narak and Swarg are way, much bigger than the Madhyalok. Madhyalok is like if you see the shape of an akimbo, like a man standing with his hand on the waist, just that little waist part is the Madhyalok, and then the Swarg is so much more, and Narak is so much more.
Okay.
So obviously, proportionally, the living beings are more in Swarg and Narak also compared to the Madhyalok. And we are like a minuscule, tiny little dot, even not even that much of that Madhyalok. So just imagine the expanse of the universe compared to what we can imagine. And all the six substances live in that universe, right? There is also Alok Akash, which is outside of that shape that we have, uh, where they have only Akash and no Dharm Dravya, no Adharm Dravya, none of the other Dravyas. So, contemplating on this whole universe, what it comprises of, and how beings end up in Swarg, or which Swarg, what activities one does to reach there, or to the higher Swarg versus the lower Swarg. Same thing, how do you get to be in the Narak, or even in the Narak immediately below the Madhya Lok, which is the Vyantar Dev. It's considered Devta, but it's kind of in the lower side. So how does a being get there? And then they're able to wander into other places. And the kind of sort of sukhabas in Swarg and the dukh in the Narak. So contemplating on all that, contemplating that me, the soul, has been every single place of this universe. There's nothing new that I'm visiting now. Yet I could not accomplish my full freedom and the unconditional happiness that I'm looking for. So that is contemplation on the Loka Bhavna. That I've been there, done that, yet I did not realize my soul. I've been to Mahavade Kshetra, probably been in the Samavsaran of Bhagwan, and still could not accomplish this ultimate happiness. So, so that is what the Lok is all about, Lok Bhavna. Okay. So, and then we can do it a little more in detail, maybe next class when Arunji presents Dineshji, if you also can try to do it a little more in detail, those two bhavnas. Okay. All right. So let's move on to Nidhiji's two bhavnas, and then we'll move to Dravya Sangra book. Okay.
I'll be presenting on Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna and Dharma Bhavna. I have basically read in Hindi first, and then based on that Hindi, I'm trying to translate topic wise in a short summary manner. So my notes are not based on the English translation. These two bhavnas are very कहते हैं, nice to read, because they basically awaken you to the the specialness of what we have got. So Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna starts with the idea of rarity, that how Durlabh is what we have already got. Bodhi Durlabh they say this universe, which is comprising of six dravyas, the objects we meet, that is the Gye Swarup Sanyog, जो हमें देखने को मिलता है, and the Ashrav Bhav, because of which we get all these circumstances and all these materials, is not rare, because we are getting it so many times. We have got it so many times, we'll continue to get it, so nothing is rare. What is rare is recognition of our own self. Bodhi means integrated knowledge of self, darshan, jnana, charitra. And because that is very difficult to receive, get, is therefore it is durlabh in this world. Now, it starts with a definition of Bodhi. Bodhi is not a mystical, vague insight. It is the unity of right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct, all arising together. Somewhere it says कि Bodhi means ज्ञान, but they say कि because सम्यक ज्ञान के साथ साथ सम्यक दर्शन और सम्यक चारित्र इकट्ठे ही होते हैं, तो Bodhi is integrated, the right knowledge, right perception, right knowledge, and right conduct. So, and the author also distinguishes between Bodhi and Samadhi. The Bodhi is attaining of this right knowledge, faith, right knowledge, and right conduct, which is not yet attained. And Samadhi is carrying it unbroken into the next birth. And sometimes होती as सम्यक ज्ञान और सिर्फ पहचान, the intent is always Ratantra, integrated Ratantra. And then the ladder of, I mean, how difficult it is, that is, it is explained that how difficult it is, what Bodhi Durlabh means, that we have uh, been, like, the existence from lowest single body, Nigod, then attaining mobile body, that is thrust, then going over to five senses body, then getting human birth on top of that, then uh, getting birth in a noble country, then having all a healthy body, all the senses, working, then having a weak passion temperament, जिसमें कि आपका राग द्वेष कम हो, वो मिलना, then uh, on top of that, falling into good company, meeting people, like-minded people, and who are, who lead you to good company. Then on top of that, exposure to वीतराग धर्म, वीतराग का ज्ञान होना और उस धर्म के बारे में जानना, everything is exponentially harder than the previous. Even after climbing all of them, if the human life is squandered in sensual pleasure, it is it is like burning fragrant sandalwood for charcoal. मतलब आप सैंडलवुड को जला रहे हो राख इकट्ठी करने के लिए. So this is where it is miraculous that we have got such rare combinations all together in this life, and we are we have this tendency to waste it away or squander it away on sensual pleasures and things that we'll keep on getting, which is easier, much easier to get. Also, then it is says it is told ki soul, beginning nasty, is habituated to look outwards at Pardravya and must now reverse its direction and look inward. Because external things जो हैं वो are dependent on others. They are paradhin. They remain, actually they are rare because, I mean, they should become rare because they are dependent on others. And the self is fully dependent, swadhin. So failure to recognize is a failure of practice, not opportunity. Rarity here is the verdict on the soul's unpracticed habit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nidhi, the
now
self
the
is
author
fully
is saying,
independent, not dependent.
that is recognizing ourselves,
Right.
and we are self-dependent. We are recognizing ourselves is actually easy.
Right.
Now he is turning it around that it is actually easy because you have to actually just know yourself. Knowing other things, for doing other things, you need basically you need to be paradhin on other things. So वो actually difficult होना चाहिए, और moving inward should be easy because it is you. So the author says कि that is in this book कि actually how can our own nature be truly rare? From Nishchay's standpoint, Sahaj Sulabh, innate effort, our स्वभाव is innate and effortlessly available. ये सिर्फ व्यवहार में appears rare, and its only expression is in the manifest paryay. The two statements, Bodhi is supremely rare and Bodhi is naturally easy, are not in contradiction but two angles of the same fact. Rarity describes the past pattern of neglect, and easiness describes the present ever available possibility. So rarity from Vyavahar point of view, but Nishchay says it is very easy to get the Bodhi. Now, author says, why do we need to see it like as easy and difficult? So, because the author insists that reaching rarity alone would be a spiritual disaster. Because अगर हम सिर्फ यही बोले बहुत rare है, बहुत difficult है, so I will be overwhelmed. I say it is not possible for me. It is not possible. It is so difficult. So we have to basically turn him around and say, no, it is very easy because it is inside you. It is you. तो
Mhm.
रेयरिटी जो है वो हमारे को बेसिकली कंप्लेसेंट नहीं होने देती. इट बेसिकली इज टू गार्ड अगेंस्ट कंप्लेसेंसी, एंड इजीनेस rescues from despair. That
Mhm.
together they produce a precise inner climate of alert and confident person in which Ratnatra actually arises. That is, we basically understand that it is rare, and easiness of Bodhi is that we can achieve it.
Mhm.
That we have got rarity to realize that whatever we have got is so difficult to get together, and
Mhm.
easiness is to understand that it is easy for us because it is us, it is within us. So easiness is for the favorable sayuks. All four are contemplated because um, we have to push the soul in the same direction, away from the outward absorption and into the inner Jnananand lok.
Mhm.
Then it has been placed between lok and dharma, bodhi dhurla bhavna. It has been deliberately put so because lok bhavna जो है उसमें हमने outer cosmos को survey किया. धर्म भावना will establish ki the residence in the self, and bodhi durlabh is the pivot, the very moment of turning the gaze inward. Its whole reason for existing is to generate that turn from lok to turn inside, and then dharma reside in self, right? Reside in yourself. So in short, Bodhidharma Bhavana is the contemplation that the recognition of one's own pure self is at once the rarest jewel of the sansar and most natural state of the soul. It builds the rarity to puncture the spiritual laziness, then unveils easiness to ignite effort, and finally weaves the two into a single direction, awaken the Purusharth, and Bodhi is effortlessly yours, remain unawakened, and it stays infinitely far. The glory of this bhavna in the closing words is immeasurable. Every song sung in its praise falls short because it itself is the holy energy that turns Ratantra from a distant ideal into a lived attainment. Then progressing to Dharma Bhavna. In this, I have touched upon everything that has been covered in the book in
Okay.
terms of Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna. So, and I mean, if we'll read it, we'll just also come across various citations that uh, Bharanji has consolidated in this chapter. Basically, he has done a very wonderful job of consolidating all the all the basically all the Para Bhavna interpretations into this one book and
Right.
given us the nectar of what Para Bhavna is has been explained as by various authors,
Mhm.
and also his own point of view to it, and he has a very objective, very nice, very I would say pure uh, a sense of what the bhavnas should be read as. Uh,
Sh-
also, I think puncturing the what I would like to say कि कोई अंधविश्वास नहीं, कोई क्या कहते हैं मिथ्यात्व को बढ़ाने वाला कुछ नहीं, प्योर
Right.
प्रैक्टिकल एंड नाइस way of seeing dharma. Now, dharma bhavna is again very enlightening to read. It says that धर्म भावना में हमने
Mhm.
मतलब अभी तक जो 9 भावनाएं हैं जिसमें हमने गे हे उपादेय पढ़ा, संसार पढ़ा, लोक भावना पढ़ी. उस लोक भावना में हमने संसार का स्वरूप समझा. बोधि दुर्लभ भावना में हमने समझा कि रत्नत्रय जो बोधि है वो कितनी दुर्लभ है, और धर्म भावना में हम अब समझेंगे कि रत्नत्रय, the dharma bhavana now takes the very ratnatraya, the only real dharma, and turns the contemplation from how rare it is to what it is and how glorious it is. The shift is emphasis is the point that rarity has done its work of awakening urgency. Now soul must contemplate the nature of what it is reaching for, and so that absorption may begin. So defining dharma, he says that Samyak darshan, samyak gyan, samyak charitra arising from support of one's nishkalank atma. When the same three become मिथ्यात्व रूप, they grow संसार. मतलब जब हम अशुभ भाव करते हैं तो संसार बढ़ता है, और अगर हम शुभ भाव करते हैं तो भी संसार बढ़ता है, तब पुण्य बंद होता है. बट इन देयर राइट स्टेट दे आर धर्म. मतलब जब दे आर राइट, द दर्शन, ज्ञान एंड चारित्र बिकम धर्म. When scripture name it ahimsa, samta, madhyasthata, shuddha bhavna, vitaragta, vastu स्वभाव, or counts it as the 10 dharmas of forbearance, मतलब 10 लक्षण धर्म, जिसमें उत्तम, क्षमा, माधव, आर्जव, या फिर इन्हें डिस्क्राइब करते हैं एज वितराग परिणति ऑफ द सेल्फ. द प्रिसाइज मैटर इज ओनली व्हेन द टर्म इज क्लियर कैन दैट बी that becomes steady. मतलब ये हम कई तरीके से, कई स्वरूप में पढ़ते हैं धर्म को, बट हमें ये क्लियर होना चाहिए कि एक्चुअली धर्म क्या है. तो ही सेज कि जो धर्म है, धर्म भावना, इसका स्कोप जो है वो अनलिमिटेड है. द एंटायर चरणान योग, the 8 limbs of right, faith, 12 vows, 11 pratimas, 10 dharmas, 12 tapas, 4 dhyan, all fold into it. So then he says that actually dharma bhavna में ये भी कर्म प्रद पर्याय भी आता है. Every modification of every substance at every place and time is fixed by all knowing Jinendra Bhagwan, who knows who knows everything. So, and one who knows this is samyak drishti, one who doubts it is mithya drishti. Even Indra cannot displace this order, and dharma bhavna is thus both encyclopedic in conduct and radical in vision. मतलब अगर हम धर्म भावना को समझने लगे तो ये सब कुछ भी धर्म भावना में आ जाता है. But what is और उन्होंने बोला कि धर्म भावना जो है ये कल्प तरु और कामधेनु और ये चिंतामणि रत्न, इन सबसे बहुत बेहतर है. क्यों बेहतर है? बिकॉज कल्प वृक्ष के सामने या चिंतामणि के सामने जब आप मांगते हो, ओनली व्हेन यू आस्क, देन इट गिव्स यू द गिफ्ट. लेकिन और इसमें जब आपको मांगना पड़ता है, देन इट इज दीनता, दैट इज यू आर बिकमिंग अ बेगर. ओनली देन इट गिव्स यू व्हाट यू आर asking for, जो इष्ट आप मांग रहे हो. Dharma alone gives without being asked, and what it gives is not sense pleasure, but atindriya anand, beyond sensual pleasure. Hence, the entire reflection is stop asking the world, turn to dharma, which fulfills silently from within. Now, निश्चय व्यवहार पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से उन्होंने धर्म को समझाया है कि तप, संयम, जप, vows, त्याग, all these are vyavahar dharma. They are useful as support, and actually, but from the real dharma is आत्म रमणता, मतलब absorption in soul. अपने चित्त रूप में इमर्स हो जाना ही एक्चुअली निश्चय धर्म है, एक्चुअल धर्म है. ऑल्सो ही सेज कि जो हम मानते हैं कि नहाना, बेथिंग, पिलग्रिमेज, यात्राओं पे जाना, जप तप करना, इवन नग्नता और केशलोच, या फिर ये सब धर्म नहीं है. ये सब व्यवहार से धर्म है. एक्चुअली में ये धर्म नहीं है. धर्म सिर्फ अपने सोल को अपने नेचर में रहना है. सोल्स अबाइडिंग इन इट्स ओन लोअर टीयर नेचर, ज्ञाता दृष्टा भाव में रहना है, फ्री ऑफ राग द्वेष मोह. And this is what Jinendra Bhagwan calls dharma. He further elaborates that what cannot produce dharma: money, service, मतलब सेवा करना, mountains, temples, idols, water, fire, teeth, fast, vows, शरीर को देना, body mortification, donations, मंडल पूजा करना, abandoning home for forest, even घर बार छोड़ के जंगल चले जाना, या शमशान में चले जाना, क्रिमेशन ग्राउंड में चले जाना, या जप करते रहना, इवन चैंटिंग द नेम ऑफ गॉड. दीज आर नॉट धर्म. धर्म इज द स्वभाव ऑफ द आत्मा, एंड इट अपीयर्स ओनली व्हेन सोल ड्रॉप परबुद्धि एंड रेस्ट इन इट्स ओन ज्ञाता दृष्टा स्वभाव. Wherever subtle attachment remains, there is punya or papan. जहाँ भी थोड़ा भी अटैचमेंट रहता है. प्योर है तो प्योर मतलब अगर अटैचमेंट एवर्स है, नेगेटिव है तो पाप बंद हो जाएगा, अगर पॉजिटिव है तो पुण्य बंद हो जाएगा. लेकिन जब प्योर फेथ कंडक्ट, फेथ नॉलेज कंडक्ट होगा, प्योर राइट फेथ नॉलेज कंडक्ट होगा, तभी बॉन्डेज का एब्सेंस होगा. अ, जब हम अपने पूरे प्रॉपर अब्जॉर्प्शन में आएंगे, प्योर नेचर में, only then we will get rid of punya and papa. Then only no papa punya will happen, and the absence in itself is uttam sukh, which is dharma. Atma as both goal and means. Then the heart of the matter is the gyan ghan eternal self must be worshipped as both sadhya and sadhak. That is the goal and the means. Atma Upasana through self darshan, self gyan, and self dhyan is the moksha marg. तो अपनी आत्मा की उपासना करना, अपने आप को देखना, आत्म दर्शन, आत्म ज्ञान और आत्म ध्यान, यही मोक्ष मार्ग. एंड सो इट इज नथिंग टू बी एडेड टू द सोल. इट इज द सोल राइटली अटेंडिंग टू इटसेल्फ. तो धर्म जो है वो वेरी सिंपली आत्मा ही है, आत्मा के बारे में ही है. नथिंग टू डू विद आउटसाइड. तो कुछ अलग कुछ करना नहीं है, अपने आप में डूबना ही है. देन धर्म भावना सेपरेट कैसे है बोधि दुर्लभ से? तो इफ बोधि एंड धर्म आर सेम रत्न त्रय, व्हाई टू भावना? तो ये है कि इट्स अ साइकोलॉजिकल डिजाइन. बोधि दुर्लभ dwells on रत्न त्रय's rarity to generate urgency and effort, and dharma bhavana dwells on ratan tray's nature, grandeur, and majesty to generate steady absorption and reverence. The first creates inward turn, and the second establishes the inward residence. तो अब ये कल्मिनेट करता है कि अहिंसा, 10 लक्षण धर्म, रत्नत्रय, भगवती अहिंसा, आत्म आराधना, धर्म भावना. Every name for dharma collapses into one fact, the non-arising of rag bhav. The rise of attachment is hinsa, and non-rise is ahimsa. So every classical definition, however framed, points to the same शुद्ध परिणाम of the soul. मतलब आप किसी भी एंगल से धर्म को समझने की कोशिश करो, अल्टीमेटली शुद्ध परिणाम of the soul, that is being devoid of राग भाव. एंड राग भाव में द्वेष भाव भी इंक्लूडेड है, एसिमुलेटेड है. Then every Atma is Paramatma. In the closing para, it is contemplated that every soul in its Swabhav is already Paramatma. The entire cause of bondage is that at the level of Paryay, the soul forgets this and lives as Pamar, that is lowly being. The remedy is structural, and the Pamarta of Paryay by accepting the Prabhuta of Swabhav and turn Paryay towards it. The very act Swabhav Sanmukta Paryay, being stable in Swabhav, is Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, and Samyak Charitra, and that is Dharma, and that is Dharma Bhavna. Jain Darshan's world renowned distinctiveness is precisely this. It declares every soul fully sovereign with self-reliance on its only path as the only path to godhood. In a gist, Dharma Bhavna is the contemplation that Dharma is not a ritual, it is not a place or possession or a deed, but the self-owned pure abiding in itself. That defining Ratnatra to surveying its vast Vyavhar scope, to peeling away every external substitute, to revealing the soul as both the worshipper and the worshipped, finally to the declaration that entire universe could become dharma and sukhmay if every soul accepted its inherent Paramatmahood. The bhavna ends with the parting wish that every listener may take this holy contemplation home and let it ripen into lived presence of dharma itself.
Very good. So this is how much detail we want to do, because there are actually 10 pages on each of the bhavnas, right? So you might as well capture. Now in this bhavna, he probably must have taken this from Tattvat Sutra also. Do you know if you read this, like Vastu Sahavo Dhammo? Nidhi ji, did that Dharma Bhavna have that line? So in Tattvart,
मैम आई थिंक मोक्ष शास्त्र से तो मैंने नहीं पढ़ा है इसमें,
उन्होंने नहीं लिया है, कोई बात
बट
नहीं। बेसिकली मोक्ष शास्त्र या तत्वार्थ सूत्र में ये लाइनें आती है कि वस्तु सहावो धम्मो। व्हाट डज दैट मीन? वस्तु का स्वभाव ही धर्म है। सो इफ आई वांट टू स्टे इन माय धर्म, what would I need to do?
If you're the soul, then you have to stay in the soul.
Exactly. Stay with its pure characteristics, nothing from outside. Okay, what is the dharma of fire?
Heat.
Heat, yeah.
Heat, burning.
And
That is its nature. What is the dharma of ice?
Cold.
cold.
So if we realize that fact that all these matter, pudgal, they don't leave their dharma. They stay true to their dharma. So then why are we not in our dharma? So to be dharmic is to be yourself, the pure you. Nothing from borrowed from outside. No vibhav, staying in swabhav. And right now we have vibhav. We have all the gunas intact. Most of them are in the swabhav, but a lot of them are in vibhav, which we need to correct. Go back to the swabhav. And that is the dharma bhavna. So the contemplation basically, you observe yourself. Am I in the vibhav of my Shraddha gun? Am I in vibhav of my Gyan gun? Am I in vibhav of my Sukh gun? What do I need to do to take it back to its swabhav? So that is the contemplation of the dharma bhavna. And Muniraj or anybody for that matter who stays in meditation gets that observation power that they can observe every minute detail. Where am I going wrong? Where am I going into the vibhav of the soul and I'm not staying in the swabhav? And there are other three, I'm trying to think, Vattu Sahavo Dhammo. There's another dharma का मूल क्या है? That is also in Tattvad Sutra. Samyak darshan. Samyak darshan. That's a root of the dharma. So you start with Samyak darshan to go towards the swabhav. And then that's Dansan Khalu Dhammo. And the last one is Charitra. So eventually you have to have perfect Charitra to reach your pure self. So those are the three main ways to reach the dharma. Okay, so Arun ji and दिनेश जी, अगर आप करेंगे अगले वीक फिर से तो थोड़ा इस तरह से डिटेल में करिए. And if Viraj, you also want to add to what you have, that would be great also.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. All right, so do we have the Dravya Sangra books by any chance handy?
No.
Otherwise, I will, that's okay. We can bring them to next class. Today, let me just give you a basic synopsis of what the Dravya Sangra book is going to be like about. Primarily the Chai Dravya and, everything, all the topics in Jainism. It's going to try to, for your purpose in this semester, we are not to go into too much detail. We are only supposed to read the Gatha meanings, but that's okay. So I'll just briefly go over each Gatha and what it is going to pertain. and we'll end the class after that. And then next class, we'll bring the book and go read the book also. Okay, so at least I'll try to cover chapter 1 right now, just a general synopsis of it. So Dravya Sangra is basically, first of all, its author is Acharya Nemi Chandra. So this book was originally written in Prakrit. So the gathas that we're going to read are going to be in Prakrit. And each gatha is quite, dense. I mean, you can elaborate a lot on it, or you can basically understand the meanings of the gathas. For our purpose in this semester, only the meanings is all we are supposed to do, but we will try to understand it to the best we can. Gatha number 1 is just a Manglacharan, and it's called Jeev and Ajeev. Basically, Jainam Payanamitva Jeevam Taha Ajeevanam. So basically, Acharya is bowing down to Arihants who have destroyed 4 Ghati karmas and attained Keval Gnan. Right? So basically, Acharya is saying that I'm going to describe the nature of Jeev and Ajeev substances as taught by the Arihants or Jinas. The purpose of right faith, Samyak Darshan. What is the purpose of Samyak Darshan? To know things the way they are. Not anything less, not anything more. To understand the true nature of the universe. So without knowing the Dravya, you can't distinguish soul from non-soul. So then if you don't understand the differences, the liberation is not possible. So basically, Agam Praman, because Agam is where you read the characteristics of soul as well as non-soul. And we have a big, who do we believe? Only Sarvagya. Anything less than Sarvagya is not good enough for us. Then Gatha number 2 basically gives the basic definition of Dravya, Gun and Paryaya. What is Dravya? Substance, which is what it is called in physics also, right? It's eternal. Dravya is always permanent. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be created. And it can only change form. What about Gun? Gun is the qualities. Just like in grammar, we teach people anything you describe a quality is an adjective. So coexistence with Dravya. Dravyas are formed of gunas. And so Dravya is going to be never without its gun. So for example, give me some example of gunas of Jeev, Dravya.
Knowing and perceiving.
Yeah.
Knowing, perceiving. It has Anant Gun, but knowing, perceiving, happiness, all these are
Shraddha.
gunas of, Shraddha. All these are gunas of Jeev, which will never go away from it. They may be completely manifested, or they may not be completely manifested, but the gun itself is not going to go away anywhere. Same thing, what are the gun of Pudgal?
Touch.
Touch.
Taste. Sparsha rasa gandha varna.
Exactly, right? So Pudgal has its own gun. And same way, all the 6 dravyas, Dharmastikaya, Akash, and Kal. What is Paryaya?
Mode of
It.
existence.
Yes. Any modification, the change is all called Paryaya. So, it change, and every dravya, its Paryaya is constantly changing. So soul going from ignorant to enlightened is a Paryaya change. Soul, nothing happened to it. It stayed the way it is. Its Paryaya changed. Right? So Jainism basically avoids extremes. like it won't say everything is permanent. It will define that everything is momentary, but dravya is permanent in substance. But dravya also has its changing modes. So that concept of looking at both angles, what is it called?
Say again, Sadhvat or Nayas?
Got it. Anekantavad,
Yeah.
basically. And when you speak of it, when you describe it, that is called Syadvad. Right? Okay, very nice. Now, then in Gatha 3, basically it's again going to talk about the six dravyas. I mean, we're talking about the book Dravya Sangra. So each of the Gathas will be elaboration of that only. And we know the six categories, right? Wait, what are the six dravyas?
Jiva,
Jeev,
Udgala,
Mhm,
Dharma, Dharma, Kala, Akash,
mhm. Now, let's talk about the numbers. How many jeeves are there?
Anant,
Anitya.
Infinite, yes.
Yeah.
Udgal,
Anantanant,
right. Then dharma,
Ek,
one. Adharma,
one,
kal,
Sankhya,
asankhya, yes. So now, other than kal, the other five are called astikai. That means they have spatial units, pradesh. Kal is not astikai, it's anastikai. Lokakash has innumerable space points. Okay. And a paramanu, which is atom, occupies one space point. So if there is infinite space points, there is infinite paramanus, atoms. Okay. Then Gatha 4, they first told you all the six substances. Now they're going into the details of each substance. So dravya, jeev dravya, right? Upyog is manifestation of consciousness. Two kinds. What are the two kinds of upyog? We've studied that in Vitrag.
Dhanopayog, Darshanopayog.
Yes, Nanupyog and Darshanupyog. Now, what are the intrinsic qualities? Anant Gnan, Anant Darshan, Anant Sukh, Anant Virya. And in the Sansari state, all these characteristics, all our Gyan and Darshan is all covered by impurities. It's in the Sansari state, we are bound by karmas, so it's not able to manifest or express its full potential. So Jeev can be divided into how many types of Jeev?
He is
Tower and
No, Jeev can be two types, Sansari and Mukt.
Sansari and yeah.
So which ones are
Which one?
Sansari and which ones are Mukt?
Aranta Siddhar. Siddhar.
Siddha and Mukta.
Yes. Sigth are the only Mukta, everything else below that
Sorry.
is Sansari. Okay. Now, within Sansari, there are so many bifurcations, right? Tras, Sthavar. What is Tras?
Trust is
One
they two Indriya plus two
Right.
Indriyas.
Tras basically means
Yeah.
moving,
Yeah.
but anything above one
Yeah.
Indriya is Tras. And Sthavar is that does not move.
Ekendriya.
Ekendriya, right. So Sthavar, Tras basically are 2 to 5 senses. Sthavar is one sensed. And what are the 5 types of Sthavar?
Earthly, fire, water, air, vegetables, vanaspati.
Plants. Very good. Very good. And the jeev can expand or contract to whatever form it takes. Now, Pudgal Dravya. Pudgal has how many characteristics? What are the uh, gunas of this? We already, somebody said that, right?
Yeah.
Varna, Gandha, Rasa, Sparsha. How many Varna? How many colors?
I don't know.
Five.
Why? Okay.
5 types of colors, 2 types of smell, 5 types of taste, and 8 types of touch.
Mm.
So, and the smallest unit of Pudgal is what?
Paramanu.
Parmanu, atom. And what is Skand?
Composite of paramanus.
Aggregate, yes.
Aggregate.
A bunch of Parmanu is Skand. Skanda forms all objects, our body or any matter, any thing that we can see is all skand. We cannot see atoms.
How do you say it, Prabhat? Skand? No.
Skanda, Skandha, skanda.
Skand.
Skand. It's like aggregate, right?
Mhm.
It's you put so many atoms
Okay,
together, it
together.
makes a skand, right? So now, our bodies, even karma particles, we cannot see individual.
No.
So karmic matter, then sound, light, heat, shadow, darkness, all these are aggregate of atoms. They're all skandha
Mhm.
of atoms, right? So karma is also pudgal vargana that binds to soul due to what makes it bind?
Puram
After
snigdha roksh.
Right, because of rag and dvesh and the ruksh, yes. So anything that can be bind can also be separated.
Yeah.
So it's bind your soul, and when it is supposed to, when it's udaya comes, then it can be separated also. And that is the nature of pudgal. The pud and gal means coming together, and galna means spreading out. Okay. Now, then we talk about dharma dravya. What is dharma dravya?
That is the one that becomes nimitta in
Medium
the
of right.
medium
So
of
it
rest.
doesn't actually push anything like the wind does. The wind is actually doing the act of pushing something, right? You things fly away when there are things, it's windy. But it's a passive nimitt. It just exists. So water doesn't make the fish swim, but fish cannot swim without water. So you see the difference? So water by intent is not doing anything to make the fish swim, but just the mere existence of water is enough to make the fish swim. Same way, the existence of dharmadravya becomes nimit in our motion.
So in this case, what would be called dharma then?
It's a dharma is a separate dravya. Water is pudgal,
Right. So
right?
in this example, what would be the dharma?
Dharma dravya basically is also nimitta in fish to move, in us to move, in any object to move. Because if there was no dharma dravya, nothing would be able to move. And if there was
Right.
no dharma dravya, nothing would stop. If it was only dharma dravya, everything will keep moving, moving, moving. There won't
Yeah.
be a way to stop.
I think Viraji is expecting dharma dravya is to become
Oh, dharma of dharma dravya, yes, is basically to become medium of
motion.
motion.
Promotion.
That's the
Right.
dharma of dharma dravya. Exactly,
Okay.
yes.
Mhm.
And same thing for adharma.
Adharma
It's
is
medium of rest. Yes.
rest. Mm-hmm.
So basically, adharma dravya is instrument in making you stop.
Hmm.
So adharma dravya also has its own dharma.
Its own dharma, right? It's a medium of rest. It helps
Mhm.
you rest. Okay. So, and they both are arupi, right? You cannot see dharma and adharma. They
Correct.
don't have any, they are nishkriya. They
Mhm.
don't do anything.
Hmm.
So it is spread in the all of the lok, all the way
Mhm.
starting from the swarg all the way down to the seventh nark. So it basically explains inertia. We have the physics concept of inertia.
Yeah. Mhm.
Without adharma, a moving object would never stop.
Hmm.
Both dharma and adharma are unique to Jain metaphysics.
Hmm.
Other Indian schools don't have these. Like Hinduism doesn't have this concept of dharma and adharma, or any other religions for that matter. And that is why Jainism is considered closest to science and scientific principles. So there's, I mean, not too much of imagination here. So it basically says the way it is, right? In Hinduism, you have these concepts called Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
Hmm.
Then I asked some of the learned Hindus, and they said, no, there are no beings, as they picturize them, there is temples of Vishnu and Brahma and whatever. But in reality, these were never living beings. They're just concepts, and they've put a face to a concept.
Hmm.
Now, Akash Dravya. So, Akash is the space, right? Now, there's two characters, the two types of Akash, Lok Akash and Alok Akash. Lok Akash is in that shape of the akimbo. Everything that is contained within is Lok Akash, which also comprises of dharma, all that is in it. Alok Akash does not have dharma or adharma. So, because of those, nothing can live in Alok Akash. So all the six dravyas exist in Lokakash. It's finite, there's a fixed number, but innumerable space points.
Mhm.
And we know the shape of it, right? Like a man standing with arms, akimbo. And Alokakash is infinite. There is no end to it. It's empty. It's beyond the lok. There is no dharma, adharma, kal, jeev, budgal.
Black.
None of the substances are there in the Alokakash. Now, Kal Dravya. Kal is time as we know it. That is Vyavhar Kal. Kal is cause of behavioral change. So, Vartana. It's called Nishchay Kal. Just the existence and you're moving along the time span is Kal. It's not one substance, it's innumerable time atoms Kalanu, right? There is a Kalanu on each space point of the Lokakash. But they don't move. Vyavhar Kal is the conventional time as we know it, seconds, hours, day, night, caused by motion of Pudgal. As the Pudgal moves, you can understand the movement of the sun and moon. It causes the Vyavhar Kal. So, what is the function of Kal? It explains aging, ripening, change. A mango ripens due to Kal, its own parinaman, which means the changing of it. But changing, how do you define? With the Kal, capacity. Kal is instrumental cause, nimit, not material cause.
Hmm. Right.
So,
So
but is there a unit of measurement for?
that is all Vyavhar Kal.
Okay.
So
So,
the conventional time will have the unit of measurements, whether it is second, day, night, months, all that is part of Vyavhar Kal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we make a distinction between Vyavhar Kal and Nishya Kal. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Can you explain it a little more? I mean, it's
So basically, Nishchay Kal is it's just the dravya itself. And it's just sitting there. So there is one Kal point sitting on each space point. Okay. So let's say there's a box of jewels. They're just sitting there. Now in Vyavhar, you're moving from one space point to the next, to the next, to the next. And that is defining the change, right? You moved from one to the next. That gap gave you the time. But the time substance itself is just sitting on each space point.
so Nishya Kal mein koi movement nahi hai.
कोई
That's what.
movement नहीं है, right?
Why is that?
That's all.
That's just the nature of things.
No, I think this is pretty deep because
Yeah.
the whole theoretical physics sits on space and time.
Obviously, this is all physics,
We have to
nothing
sort
new.
of dive a little bit into
Nothing
it.
new means actually probably physics copied from Jinnah's teachings. But anyway, the bottom line is physics is basically concepts taken from the Shastras and somehow proven or explained. And it's unfortunate that we go the other way around. If science says it, it sits better with us, So
No, I'm just trying to think what is the significance of movement and no movement. I mean, is there I mean,
The instrument, again, instrumental cause is, that's say like it does. See, when something happens, change happens, there something has to be instrumental. Even though the change is actually happens in any particular substance on its own, there
Right.
has to be something sahakari, upayogi, something like that. That's
So
that.
let's say, let's say the beads of a mala.
mhm.
So let's assume those are the time points, right? Each pearl is sitting on a space point.
Space, I mean,
Sitting
the
there, right?
everything
There is
around
no
us is how we're defining space.
movement. There's you cannot say a transition unless you do the mala ferna. Your finger goes from one pearl to the next to the next. There, the time lapse, you can feel it. Otherwise, the pearls are sitting in its space, fixed points.
So what Bahubali is saying is that Vyavhar Kal is the instrumental cause.
Right.
And what about Nishya Kal?
Nishchay Kal is just sitting there. The motion of the Pudgal is what causes the Vyavhar Kal. So, like sun moves, right? And whatever time span happens, we call it the Kal, right? Vyavhar Kal.
I think it's very important to understand because I think it seems like when you are in Nishya,
Mhm.
it comes to a
Then time
standstill
freezes, basically. Yeah,
and freezes, right? That's what it
exactly.
seems
Yes.
like.
It's a good point, Arunji. Yeah.
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 So
But
what does that really
but
mean?
there, see, well, even then also each substance never stops changing the states. Correct? There will be, even though it is pure, there will be in the pure also there will be keep changing.
They'll be keep changing, yes.
So,
That
but
is the nature of the Dravya.
yeah, it becomes, each will be in its own nature. That time appears to be stopping, but there is no concept of time there.
Mhm.
There is no Vyavhara time at all.
Right.
So
We only call it because we somehow have to classify this days, seconds,
Yeah.
hours because of the move. Something has to move. So sun and moon are moving.
so can we connect it to Gunasthan?
No. Gunstan is totally different. Gunstan is the
The
paryay
yeah,
that is
of
jeev
Shraddha and
paryay
Charitra.
that is which is changing because of the Charitra Gun.
No, I mean, I'm
But
trying to see at what point in time you would be perfectly nishya so that your time sort of freezes. That'll be Gunstan 13 and above, right?
Right, right. Or when you're in meditation, you're frozen in time in somewhat. That time you're not realizing the change is happening.
Okay.
but even when we say like
But the
siddhas are
time
there
is
for
going on,
ananta
right?
time.
Exactly.
So we, for the sake of saying, we will always use the Vyavahar time. They are there for Ananta Kala. That means there is a time lapse from the beginningless to endless. They will be there.
Mhm.
So I think practical Vyavahar time loses its definition there because it's
Right.
not really affecting them.
Yeah. In the Siddhalok, it is not affecting them because they are always going to see everything past, present, future all the time.
So are we trying to freeze the time? I
So
mean, is that
what's
what
that? So, for
solution means?
example, I mean, unfortunately, it's hard to relate for us because we just don't even have that ability. So it's like that movie reel. The whole thing is laid out, and you're able to see it all at a
Mm.
glance. But the rest of the public cannot see it at a glance. They have to see it in order. The first picture, then the next, then the next, then the next, then the movie goes on. Versus somebody who can see the whole reel at once.
Mm. Mm.
So
But
that
will
would be
that,
Sarvagya.
It's really a good
will that
example.
not be
Yeah.
like a Avadhigya?
No, Sarvagya.
Sarvagya.
Only Sarvagya can see it all at the same time.
Which is Gunastan 13 and above.
Right.
But the time never really freezes. Maybe you don't count it, but
No, it never freezes. It's
right,
just
it's still continuing.
I
yes,
think it's a very, very powerful concept, and we're just nibbling at the edges of it, I think.
right.
So, but yeah, it's very, very powerful.
So
No,
now
it's
let's see other groupings, right? Chetan. Which of the dravyas is Chetan?
Jivatara.
Dravya,
Right. Achetan,
Pudgal.
All other.
all the other five. Right? There's no consciousness in dharma, kal, any of them. Which ones are murtik?
Pudgal.
Utkal. Amurtik,
Other fives.
Jeev, Dharma, Adharma, Akash, and Kal.
I think by Murtik we mean any shape, right? That's what you mean.
Visible.
Yeah.
Visible. Oh, Murtik is visible.
Murtik means visible. Yeah, visible. Okay. Because, yeah, if they can have shape, but they may not be visible. Okay. Kriyavant, active. Which ones are what moves?
Jiva and Pudgal.
Jeev and Pudgal. And inactive, Nishkriya.
Akash, Dharm, Adharm, Kal.
Yeah, they just exist. They don't have to move. Okay. So, and basically,
But then
Dravya is the
that
existence.
is the medium of motion, though, right?
They're medium, not they themselves are not moving. They just exist.
I want to actually sort of bug you a little bit on the Dravya also.
Okay.
I find it very interesting. Uh, I mean, we said it's you said it's not like wind, right?
Yeah, it's not like wind. It's not
So
like water
that's
either,
the
because water is also moving, right? For
that's the
when the
medium.
fish is swimming. Yeah.
We are also saying it's amurti,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have any shape and form.
Right.
That begs the question: what is it then? I'm just trying to understand it.
It's how can you explain? So it's just like exists, which okay, let's see. You understand the concept of catalyst in chemistry,
Yes.
right? So the catalyst has to exist for the reaction to happen. It does not force the reaction. Same way, dharma dravya exists to help in motion, but it does not force you to move.
So, I'm just trying to think, is it a property of, or is it a tendency? Because it says something to do with motion and rest, right? And you
Right,
alluded it to inertia as well. So
right,
like
right.
Newton's law would say like a thing in motion will like
These are concepts. Why? Because you cannot see them. They're amurtik.
yeah.
So how else would you explain
No, I was trying to
by
allude,
what it does?
connect it to the Newton's law, like it says a thing in motion will like to remain in motion, right? So
Exactly.
is it like a
If
tendency
there was
because
nothing else, if
dharma
the
is the
adharma did not exist, it will never stop. So both are needed.
so adharma is more like friction.
Gravity.
No, no, it's not. Because for friction, you need a pudgal. You cannot have friction without pudgal. So it's no, you cannot call it a friction either.
I mean, I'm just correlating.
Yeah, just to relate, you can say something, right? Something that helps in rest.
Is there any
So these
significant?
are concepts, but they're important to understand because
Yeah, yeah.
all the physics principles are based on that. And
So,
then
what
because
we
of
end,
these principles, they could do further research.
so we did end up saying that dharm drav is medium of motion and adham is medium of rest. And
Mhm.
just by going by the definition of dharma adham, it looks like we need to be in motion.
No, we don't need to be in motion or rest, either one. If we want to be in motion, dharma dravya will be instrumental.
But isn't that what we want to do? I mean, be in Ratnatraya. I mean, I'm trying to relate this
Not
to.
about want. We
Is it
are going
something?
to move in time regardless,
Oh, is
right?
this dharm drav the same as what? Sorry, I'm getting a call.
Okay.
It's like a home, correct? When you come home, you need not have to sleep. I mean, you need to take rest. If you feel like taking rest, you'll rest. If you want
Yes.
to move out,
But the home
move out. But
exists. It's there
home,
for you. The
home
bed
is
is
kind of like a,
provided
it is
rest.
prompting you, it's tempting you. You could say like, okay, you can do either of them. So you cannot sleep on the road. I mean, something like that. It's there.
Yeah.
When you move, it is there. So if it is not there, you would have not moved. That's what Arantha is saying. You would have not.
So am I wrong in connecting it to dharm as we understand in Ratnatraya? Or is it different than
No,
that?
no,
No,
no.
no.
Dharma in Ratnatraya is the true
It's
nature
different.
of anything, true
Yeah.
nature of Jeev,
It's got
nature of
nothing to do
Pudgal.
with that. It's
That's
got
different.
nothing to do. This dharm doesn't have anything to do with that.
No, 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 no.
Okay. That's just the
Dharma
word there.
Dravya also has a dharma of becoming medium of motion. Dharma of Dharma Dravya is to be instrumental in motion. Does that clarify?
Yeah, yeah. But just by the very fact that dharma is which usually deem it a desirable, adharma is non-desirable. So thereby, I was trying to conclude that
I know the terminologies are kind of confusing, but
I
they
don't
are
know. So it's like Arantha, he could have easily avoided confusion, correct? I don't know, decided to give
yeah,
that.
I know why they named it.
I mean, it's not like he
Now
knows
we're trying
everything.
to correct the Aryans.
no, I mean, is one more desirable than the other, or is just there's
No,
no?
no, because
No,
you
this
need
is
both, right? If you have motion, you
neutral.
need rest.
What is the spiritual significance? Like for a
So
jiva,
this
who's kind
okay.
of this
So
dharma and
spiritual significance is basically to understand that these six dravyas exist. No matter where you go, no matter where you are, there is no seventh dravya. Okay. Anything else that you see is a manifestation of the Pudgal Dravya. And you can try and not be able to come up with the seventh Dravya.
नहीं, जैसे मैं उस तरह से पूछ रहा था
हाँ,
कि जैसे हम बात करते हैं स्पिरिचुअल अपलिफ्टमेंट की जो बात करते हैं तो
hmm.
उसमें हम ये कहते हैं जीव को अपने चेतना पे फोकस करना है पुद्गल जो
Which
बॉडी
is
है
true. The whole
उससे दूर
point of
जाना है, right?
learning and understanding these is I am only the Jeev Dravya. I am not
Yeah.
rest any of the five Ajeev Dravya and help you in detachment.
नहीं, उसी तरह मैं पूछना चाह रहा था कि जीव की जो जर्नी है उसमें धर्म द्रव्य अधर्म द्रव्य का क्या महत्व है?
उसका महत्व इतना ही है कि मैं जो जीव भी अनादि से मूवमेंट, एक पर्याय से दूसरी, दूसरी से तीसरी, एनिमल से ह्यूमन, ह्यूमन से नरक, whatever has happened, in any of that movement, dharma dravya was instrumental, adharma dravya was instrumental in rest, yet I have nothing to do with any of those five dravyas. I am the Jeev Dravya, and that's all I need to be concerned with and be detached with all the other five. Yet, know that those five exist. See, if I don't know apple and orange, how would I distinguish which one is apple and which is orange? So I have to know them all, even to distinguish.
So this धर्म अधर्म द्रव्य का
Just for
कुछ
knowledge.
पर्याय
So
से
you
लेना,
know you are not that.
is it connected with the modification of the, I mean, the जो पर्याय बदलती है हमारी, उससे उसका कुछ धर्म अधर्म से?
No, no. पर्याय, yes, कि change movement में वो instrumental हो सकते हैं. Yet my Jeev Dravya has nothing to do with. I am not that. Just to get to that, see, अगर आपने अभी फ्रॉग ने दुनिया देखी नहीं है, उसकी दुनिया कितनी है? Only the well. He doesn't know anything better. He thinks this is the universe. The well, the keychad in the well, the little bit of water in the well, that's all. For us, until we knew, suppose these details of Madhya Lok, Airavat, whatever, different loks, how much was our world? Just this little earth, maybe the 5 continents. That too, that's what it is today. When we went to South America, there was this one place we visited. They showed the earth over time, right? Millions of years ago, it was just a ball with just a ball of land and water. Then how many million years later, then it separated into 2 pieces of land. Then slowly it separated into some, I don't know, I think Australia was the first thing that came out, and then North, South America. I mean, there was this whole thing about how many years later what got formed. So then that became your world. So knowing it all and then knowing where I exist, who am I, and where I am in the big picture is important. So I can distinguish between who I am and who I am not. So I don't get confused when I discover a new thing and now all of a sudden I want that, or that is me, that is mine. I have a clear distinction of who I am.
Loka bhavna.
After knowing the whole lok, after understanding the whole universe. That is the purpose of knowing all this.
So we went through that in the bhavna, loka bhavna, but
Exactly. That's what Lok Bhavna is. To understand this whole universe, understand that I've moved through all of these space points, yet not accomplished that for permanent happiness that I'm looking for.
Excellent.
In fact, that reminds me, talking about space points, you know, when you go through Vipassana meditation, it's kind of boring initially, but they make you meditate on each of the pores of your body. So they tell you to go through one pore at a time. You meditate, like that. So when you're focusing, I mean, I'm sure this is supposed to be instrumental. I mean, what good is focusing on your body space points? They're basically trying to make your mind be able to concentrate, stay focused. But sort of this contemplation is like that, lok bhavna, that you contemplate on all the space points where all is there, and me, the Jeev, has traveled through all the space points over and over again. So really, nothing is new. I mean, I've experienced all of this in my past. I just don't remember it. And it's interesting. We met somebody who had visited. This guy's name was Phul Chanji, and whether true or not, I don't know. But I know that he said he had this ability. He went around spreading the knowledge of Atma Siddhi Shastra to, I don't know how many countries, he said 50 or 150, whatever. And he said every country he went to, he suddenly felt like he had been there before and he would speak their language. It'll just come out of him. And that Atma Siddhi Shastra has been translated in 50, 70, whatever number of languages. So where did that feeling or where did that come from? His soul had traveled through all these places. Most of the times we forget everything, still some things remain with us. So maybe with that person, that's what happened. Whenever he went to those places, it just came to him that he could suddenly speak their language. So those kind of things also happen. So this way we covered the chapter 1 of Dravya Sangra. Next class, everybody bring your books, PDF, whatever, and we'll...
We don't have English version for the Dravya Sangra.
Oh, there is.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Can you share, please?
Yeah, I can.
The link I did not find it on the link.
Send
It's
the
on that
link.
syllabus link. I can share you the link.
Okay, yeah, share the link. And yeah, most of the English anyways, we have to go read through the
There is a
link.
Hindi, there is a Gujarati, but not...
Yeah, those are probably physical books, probably are available. You may...
the PDF books. Either
PDF,
send me,
yeah.
please.
Well, I'm sure when you guys got your books package, you got the Hindi book with it,
I
right?
put the PDF, English PDF on WhatsApp.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
And by the way, they're revamping the website now. So pretty soon you guys are going to be able to order the next year's books and everything. Did you get the books all the way till December for both this semester and next?
No, I paid for it, but I never got it. I don't know. Yeah. They don't
Or
have all the books.
okay, then we're gonna have to visit. One time I had posted who you contact if you don't get books, different phone numbers. And I
Is
know
it
now.
for them to ship it here? I mean, wouldn't that be very expensive for them?
What's that?
The books, I mean, are they going to ship it to
Oh, when
Norfolk?
they ship it to US or Canada, they charge you shipping charges. Yeah, within India it's free, but out of India they charge.
Okay.
Whatever it amounts to be, I'm sure shipping books is cheaper than other shipments. Books are considered a certain category.
So, Viraje, that might be the reason because we paid just, I think, whatever the Indian fee was, right?
Yeah, maybe that's why. Could be.
No, that should not be the reason. Ask Rupal, or did she always get the books in India or did she ever get them shipped here?
No, I got it shipped here before. I
So
don't
did
know.
they not charge you for shipping?
I mean, I paid whatever they showed there. I paid. I don't remember now. Yeah.
Normally, that is what they say, that out of India, they will, charge whatever it costs to ship them. Okay, I'll share that number or there's a form. I think now they're trying to do everything on the website, practicaljainism.com. So you will be able to fill out a form on there saying that I ordered it and I have not received it at this address or
Oh,
whatever.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, let's make sure you should all have the physical books also as much as possible. Even though it matters less for this class because if you're following in English, it's mostly PDFs, but still having a physical book can help. And if there are some important chapters that you care about, just go ahead and print from the PDF. Okay. So basically Dinesh ji, Arun ji, and possibly Viraj ji will present next class, and we'll continue with the Dravya Sangra. Okay. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्मस्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्मस्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्मस्वरूप निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है वंदना शत बार है जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को